Well, good afternoon. My name is Chris Letzos. I am the CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Tampa Bay, and as a club kid, I'm pretty excited to have everyone out here, and hopefully every time we open up a new Boys and Girls Club, we'll have this many people with us. It means all the difference to our kids. This project has been a 2-year journey, just over 2 years, and to see it come to fruition, it's absolutely remarkable, and wanted to thank everyone for being here today and help us celebrate it. The Vinnick Boys and Girls Club and facility represents how the power of collective impact can come together to redefine the opportunity equation for our young people. It's going to help us reimagine how we help our club members every single day overcome the achievement gap. Most of our kids living in low-income households, kids from minority families, they're about 6,000 hours behind their peers by the time they get to the 6th grade. So imagine you're a 6th grade student, you don't know where your next meal is coming from, you don't have a pair of shoes to wear, and then you got to go to school and you got to work hard and study, and you have all these barriers and obstacles to overcome. Well, the only solution to that is an effort like the Boys and Girls Club. It's an investment like Mr. and Mrs. Vinnick have made on behalf of the kids here in Claire Mell. Here they're going to spend more hours learning. Our kids, they're going to have access to more caring mentors, including deputies from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. They're going to participate in more enrichment activities, and they're going to benefit from more investment. And I can promise you, as a club kid and alum, they're going to be assured a great future, no matter what their circumstance. So I genuinely want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Vinnick for their trust and faith in our movement. Their belief in us is beyond special, and it means so much to all of our club professionals and youth. So thank you. So with that, we have a pretty full agenda, and I'm going to hand it off to who I think is one of the best, if not the best, superintendent of schools in our country, Mr. Jeff Akins.
Wow, thank you so much, Chris, and really appreciate those words, and thank you, Jeff and Penny, for your amazing efforts here in our community, specifically here today. It's really an honor to be here today in Hillsborough County Public Schools. Just as Chris had mentioned, and we have a strong focus on literacy. I mean, that's why our grad rates are going up all across the county, is because it's not just about one individual. It's about a collective community coming together on behalf of our students. And the Boys and Girls Club is one of those organizations that level the playing field for our students in our communities. And we have to recognize that. We recognize the work of all the organizations across the community, but specifically here today. This really is about a great effort on behalf of the Boys and Girls Club for our students, and specifically right here in Claire Mell. It's helped us close the achievement gap at school after school after school. There's such an importance that we make for certain students that they have somewhere to go after school. I mean, we know just what Chris said, the number of hours that our students sometimes have to catch up, they need more time. And they find that time right here in these programs at the Boys and Girls Club. These opportunities allow students to build healthy relationships and receive academic assistance. And we can't ever underestimate the relationships that they form inside schools and in their communities and in these clubs. We need this facility. And Chris just informed me that we're going to be able to utilize this facility sometimes for our schools. Thank you very much, Chris, for that. That's excellent. We just want to thank, once again, the Vinnicks for your support. They have the same vision as we do here across our communities, how to lift the entire community by just one student at a time, one community at a time, one school at a time. We appreciate your support in that vision. It's not just about us, it's about how the community works together. We are one community. This year our hashtag in Hillsborough County is We Climb Together. And I want to thank you for working so hard to make a difference in the students' lives here in the Boys and Girls Club. It's going to be a great year. As we climb together, we know we're going to achieve together on behalf of our students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff, for your leadership and courage. It's not always the case where Boys and Girls Clubs and other partners have the green light to really meet kids where they're at, and I want to thank you for that. Next, I want to introduce Ken Hagan on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to be here at Winston Park to celebrate the Vinnick Family Boys and Girls Club grand opening. On behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, I am my colleague, Commissioner Pat Kemp, who's here today. Thank you for joining us for this very special celebration. As most of you know, this project has had some unexpected challenges, but I am so proud to see how the community has come together and overcome these obstacles. The strength and commitment, the Winston Park community, Jeff and Penny Vinnick, the Boys and Girls Clubs, the Sheriff's Office, and our Parks and Recreation teams have shown to see this project through is truly inspiring. Hillsborough County is extremely proud of this partnership. This is our 5th community center. We have 2 more in the pipeline, and we look forward to many more. Because programs and partnerships like this make Hillsborough County unique and exemplifies our commitment to make Hillsborough County the best place to live, work, and play. The children and families walking into this club will have resources to ensure their success and growth in the future. Currently serving, I think it's about 130 kids. We will see that number ramp up to 500 and up to 1,000 within a year's time, positively impacting children, their families, and the entire community. I'm very pleased to announce that thanks to the Board of County Commissioners and our Parks and Recreation Department, in 2019, we will add a splash pad and solar panels here to make this our first solar-powered recreation center in Hillsborough County. We are so fortunate to have the dedicated community partners like Jeff and Penny Vinnick, Sheriff Chad Chronister and the Sheriff's Office, and the Boys and Girls Clubs that share our vision of service and opportunities for all residents. I want to extend my gratitude to each and every one of you, and I look forward to the experiences and opportunities this club will afford the children here in Winston Park. Thank you.
Commissioner, I want to thank you. It's not just here in Claremelle where you're the leading voice and advocate for kids, and especially through the work in Parks and Recreation. And Rick Valdez is here. He's around here somewhere. Rick Valdez is a key partner, and thank you for your friendship, Rick, and all that we do, and really excited to keep it going. And to all the Board of County Commissioners, including Commissioner Kemp, and unfortunately Commissioner Les Miller could not be here today. Without their support and without their vision, these facilities and partnerships would not be possible. So I'm done for the day, and now I get to hand it off to my boss and really proudly say Keith Harris will come up and share his vision and a couple of words about the Boys and Girls Clubs. Keith.
Thank you, Chris. I just want to say how honored I am to be to stand here on behalf of the Board of Directors of Boys and Girls Clubs of Tampa Bay and just share a little bit more information about who we are and why I'm so excited about this movement. You know, last year, after over 90 years, and I have an appreciation for this being a Tampa native, you know, we celebrated over 35 years or 35 straight years of having women and young women as a part of our clubs through a campaign called the Girl Up campaign. And we raised over $50,000 to support the programs that are geared towards encouraging young women in leadership roles in our clubs to be leaders. So for this year, we are excited about a campaign called The Power of Us. And we look forward to having you join us as we kick off this campaign under the mantra of involved, influenced, and inspired. And this campaign celebrates the community and the power behind the collaborative partnerships that we enjoy, the collective efforts and the shared successes that we have. And it recognizes that we are much more than a club, that we really are a concept. We are a place for all to become. This campaign is going to focus on mentoring and engaging and raising funds, yes, raising funds, for the many sites that serve our youth. And there's a committee of dedicated volunteers that have been working collaboratively with the Boys and Girls Clubs, and we ask you to join us as well. That we're going to be hosting a number of events, so we ask you to keep an eye out for invitations to those events as well. So, as I mentioned, the Power of Us is really about partnerships. So, to that end, I think it would be appropriate for me to thank you know, a group of very, very dedicated supporters, starting obviously with Jeff and Penny Vinnick. You know, for over 9 years I spent as a part of the Tampa Bay Lightning family. What I was able to learn firsthand is really the power of how a sports and entertainment brand can be utilized to galvanize a community, and at the same time to help improve the lives of the citizens. So we really, on behalf of the Tampa Bay community, we really appreciate that, sir. The Hillsborough County and the Board of County Commissioners, you know, through county support, we provide at-risk teenagers ages 13 through 18 career exploration and job training opportunities through a program called Think Big for Kids. Also through the county support, we provide wraparound youth development services to our schools and to youth and their families as well throughout Hillsborough County. And then finally, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department for partnering with us to help create safe places for our kids to learn and to grow, and in turn our neighborhoods into safer places as well. So in collaboration with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, we actually operate 5 community centers that are also Boys and Girls Clubs. We have one in Town and Country, in Dover, down in Waimama, Nucio Park, and right here at Winston Park as well. So thank you all once again for all that you do on behalf of our clubs and our kids. And at this time, I have the honor to introduce to you our current and our future Hillsborough County Sheriff, Mr. Chad Chronister.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Today's grand opening is a result of a lot of hard work by a lot of our partners to achieve something very special for the Winston Park community. Leaders like our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Jeff Akins, Mr. Ken Hagan, our Board of County Commissioners, our Boys and Girls Club President, Mr. Chris Letzos, and of course, the Vinnick family. We're all instrumental in making the vision for this club a reality. Working with the Boys and Girls Clubs is not something new for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. In fact, our partnership began nearly 5 years ago with the opening of the Freddie Solomon Club, and I am so proud of the work we have done and the successes that we have achieved for that community. Our strength lies in unity we all share, which is to create a nurturing and loving environment with the tools necessary for our children to succeed. You only have to pick up the newspaper, watch the news, or check your Twitter feed to see where a young person has made a poor decision. In many of these cases, if there had only been a mentor, a big brother, an authority figure in their life, they would have known how to make the right decision regardless of the circumstances they found themselves in. This very point is why your Sheriff's Office has made a significant investment in the Boys and Girls Club to build stronger and safer communities. Here at the Vinnick Club, just like the other clubs we're involved in, there will be a full-time deputy sheriff who will be an example for our children, serving as a mentor, a coach, a role model. Coupled with the club's programs, this is a perfect mix and recipe for success. Looking back on how far we've come, today would not have been possible without the generosity of the Vinnick family. Out of all the places Jeff and Penny could have chosen to relocate, we are fortunate they picked our community. They not only wanted a place to call home, but a community where they could have the greatest impact and somewhere they could be a part of the fabric within the community. Since arriving in Tampa Bay in 2010, Jeff and Penny Vinnick and the entire family have taken our community to new heights. From building a world-class hockey franchise, the Tampa Bay Lightning, to the most recent endeavor, Water Street Tampa. During their time here, Jeff and Penny have advocated for many local charitable organizations and donated more than $16 million to 438 different charitable organizations and nonprofits in our community. Jeff and Penny, because of you, the fabric of our community continues to grow stronger. The love and compassion you have for Tampa Bay is the very reason we are able to open up the Boys and Girls Clubs, which will serve as a beacon of hope, joy, opportunity, and lots of love. It is with great honor and a privilege at this time to introduce and welcome Mr. Jeff Vinnick.
And Mrs. Pennyman. It has been a journey getting here, about starting 2.5 years ago, again, with a little misfortune along the way. But, when we walk in that facility, and Penny and I have only been allowed to see about 20% of it. That's coming up after this. But walking in there, you could hear the background noise of the kids. You could hear, or you could see the smiles. You could see, started to see the facilities. That's what this is all about. This is providing a venue for kids to go to during the day, especially after school, to help them make good choices, to be with friends, to be with the sheriff from the sheriff's office, to be able to get an education and develop and interact with their other kids. So we couldn't be more proud that this facility is now officially open and has welcomed, as we talked about, 150 kids so far. Thank you for all the kind words. Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for attending, Pat, and we'll get to you next, Ricky. Thank you all for the very kind words. It's a funny story. I was talking to Jenny Steinbrenner before walking in here, and Penny and I were involved with the Boys and Girls Clubs back in Boston, and we always thought about starting a club and giving to a club back there. For whatever reason, never did it. And you know what that reason was? We were waiting till we moved down to Tampa Bay so we could start this club here. As you know, we are not the Tampa Lightning. We're the Tampa Bay Lightning. And we are very proud of our Community Hero Program, given over to 300 community heroes to about 500 grassroots organizations throughout this area. But what is the critical factor to us? The Lightning Arena may be downtown, and the SPP Water Street development is downtown. But our mission is far broader than that. We are trying to do the best we can, and with owning a sports team and being active in the community comes the responsibility to help lives, just like so many people in this room, many of whom came up here. And we just want to make a difference and help people's lives throughout this community as best we can. It's part of our DNA. We got it from our parents. One of the things that Penny and I saw each other when we met 35 years ago, whatever it was, when she was 14. That may have come across wrong. When she was 14 and I was 40, no, anyway. It is about helping community, and this building here, this new Boys and Girls Club, is a manifestation of that, being able to do something outside the downtown core in this Clare Mell area to improve the lives of kids. So thank you for all the nice things that we've heard today. We are so excited to kick this off, and we look forward to this club making a difference in children's lives and adults' lives even, for years and decades to come. Thank you very much. So it is my pleasure to introduce, don't clap yet, Ricky Gallen. And Ricky is unbelievable because I told him this story. When I was talking to Penny as we were driving here, I was talking to her about a few of the people that would be here today, and I said, oh, that kid, Ricky Gallen's going to be here. So Ricky, in my mind, is a 38-year-old. He tells me that he's a couple years older than that, but Ricky Gallen, he's been with the Boys and Girls Club, working here with the clubs for 23 years, and was, as a kid, started as a baby. So listen to him when he talks. He knows this place and what it does. Thanks.
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to say thank you to Jeff and Penny Vinnick and all the people who have shown up here to celebrate this awesome opportunity for this beautiful facility. As you heard before, I consider this a privilege and an honor to have been a community hero under the Lightning program and also an alumnus of the West Tampa Boys and Girls Club. I've been blessed beyond imagination being involved in the organization and getting to know wonderful people like yourselves and all our partners. I started the club when I was about 10 years old. I'm pushing about 60 now. So to let you know, this is something that is more of like a passion for me. I've got the opportunity to work in the community for many, many years, grow up in the community, travel around. As you can probably see, I played some sports, and it wasn't hockey. But I love the game, don't get me wrong. And to be able to come back home now and be able to be a part of something like this in the community, it's just been fantastic. When I started the club way back when, like I said, 51 years ago, I stepped into my first Boys and Girls Club, and it seemed like it was yesterday. We came in, and my mentor there, Coach Glenn, somewhere out here, I hope, talked to us about, there he is, Coach Glenn talked to us about doing the best you can, never giving up. Anything you start, you want to finish it. Work as though somebody's looking over your shoulder. As a little kid, 9, 10 years old, those things kind of made a huge impact, not only me, but a lot of other kids in the community. So it's a pleasure to be here now, to not only have been a community hero, but be an alumnus of the Boys and Girls Club. We have over 130 some of our kids signed up at a waiting list awaiting us. Just the faces on some of the parents' faces when we get a chance to meet their kids has just been amazing. To be put in this situation with Dardale and Claremelle and Palm River down the road, to be sitting on a campus right here in the middle of the community. Mr. Jeffin Penny, we can't thank you enough for what you're doing, investing into the community, into our futures. I'm a product of the Boys and Girls Club, and I know if it hadn't been for the organization and my family, I wouldn't be where I am today. I was fortunate enough to earn a college degree. I got a chance to travel around the world through professional athletics, and to be able to come back home and hopefully play some small part in these young children's lives, I think is beyond words. With that, I want to thank you all for coming out. I can never thank you guys enough. I can't wait till you see what you have provided for the community. I'm going to ask you all to have a seat right now. We're going to ask Mr. Vinnick and the family kind of slowly start forward so we can do the ribbon cutting ceremony. After we get inside from the ribbon cutting ceremony, there should be some cake and things for you guys. Please enjoy the tour. There'll be a lot of kids like Chris and myself inside who, if it wasn't for the Boys and Girls Club, no telling what we would be doing. So it's an honor to be here. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you for coming, and bless you all. Will you hold your seats?